How are we getting on, people? Luke here from LAGFX. We are back today with a new Sunday Sessions video. This is the first Sunday Sessions of 2025, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions or queries with regards to the analysis we go through today, please, as always, leave them in the comments below. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. Now, if you're new to this series, it's basically where I choose a few pairs that I feel hold good potential for the coming week, and I break down some of the analysis I've performed to give you guys a better understanding on how I'm looking at tackling these markets. Now, this is great for those who are new to Forex and are wanting to learn a working strategy, but it's also good for those veterans that are wanting some additional confluence with the analysis they may have already performed. So as I said, if you guys do go on to enjoy, leave it a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, and don't forget to make notes. Now, the first pair we're going to actually touch base on today is the XAU US dollar market. So this is the gold spot. And you can see here that price is actually approaching an area of supply, suggesting the potential of a bearish reversal. We have seen that price has traded us in a bullish way, producing us with higher highs and higher lows. However, this isn't part of a corrective wave, because if we zoom out here, you can see that we've had multiple breaks of structure to the downside. So this was the last higher time frame structural break to the downside. This marked a protected low, as this low created the highest high within this bullish structure, as you can see. Price came to break that low, creating a lower low. In bearish structure, we have lower lows and lower highs. So it tells us that price is actually showing signs of bearish structure. Now, what's followed is a lower high has been created, but we are yet to see a new lower low being created. So we are in the midst of a bearish leg. However, we are yet to see a new lower low be created within this move. Now, as price approaches this fair value gap, this area of supply, it does give us that potential for a down move and the potential to actually go on to set a lower low. And as we zoom out and we get our path tool out, you can see here that by price setting a lower high here, we would class this as the last protected lower high before price goes on to set a new lower low. And this would be following the laws of bearish structure. In order for us to actually get involved in this market, in those short positions, and to be safe with the positions that we are placing, it's important that we wait for entry confirmation. Now, entry confirmation will come from a fractal break of structure to the downside. What a fractal break of structure to the downside will tell us is that this corrective wave here has finished, it's come to an end, and that actually the new impulsive wave to the downside is ready to take place. So this fractal break just confirms the end of this corrective wave and the start of the new impulse. And we're typically going to find that on the 1 hour or 30-minute timeframes. We need to look at the fractal nature of this structure. So I'd want to see a break in this low here. This is a clear liquidity sweep to the downside, clearing any remaining orders that were here in order to push price up and into this area of supply. I'd want to see a break in this low to confirm some kind of reversal and move to the downside. Once we have a break there, that's when I'd be considering taking part in some short opportunities. So a break of structure here would be nice. So BOS needed. Once we have that, we can then prepare to go short in this market, finding areas of supply to enter in from. This is a clear area of supply here. For price to trade down and back up and into that, so down, back up and into this, before continuing lower, that would be following the laws of bearish structure, and it would also be following in line with the analysis we have performed today. So I will be waiting patiently for price to either trade up and into this, show us signs of rejection and trading us lower, or a break to the downside followed by a reversal back up to set that first lower high within this new bearish leg before going on to set a new lower low, as it would do on the higher time frames as well, breaking this low here. So when it comes to setting our take profit target, we could absolutely set our take profit just above the last higher time frame low here. That would guarantee our take profit is achievable, and then it would just be a case of monitoring the position as time goes on, taking partials, moving our SL forward, and basically trailing our stop loss. As you can see, we can walk away with a lovely 1 to 15 risk reward ratio from this position, 15% for every 1% risked, Brilliant trading opportunity here on the XAU USD market. Just need to sit on our hands and wait patiently for entry confirmation to deliver itself before we look to get involved in this market. But that's my analysis there for the XAU USD. Heading over to the Great British Pound to the US dollar, another market I want to see go short. So with that being said, that tells us that we actually want to see strength in the US dollar, because the US dollar is quote in both the gold spot as well as the Great British Pound to the USD. So that would tell us that we want to see weakness in the Great British Pound. We also want to see weakness in gold, and ultimately strength in the US dollar. So I want to see price actually trade us back up and into this hidden order block here, or at the very least the fair value gap here. What this would also be trading us into is this whole area of inefficiency, this supply zone as such, these last buy to sell orders before continuing to trade us lower. So I want to see price trade up and into one of two areas here before taking that move to the downside. So if you are looking to copy the analysis here today and mark it on your own charts, just go to the weekly time frame, look for the wick to the downside followed by the wick to the upside, with the inefficient structure sitting below. You can see here that if we just put that back, you can see that this would represent a fair value gap, this to this. Price came to trade back up and into that, clear that fair value gap before trading lower. So it's following fair value gaps. So it'd be interesting to see how price plays out. I do believe that we will see a correction into this area here before a continuation to the downside. So I'm just going to mark a path out like so, as that's how I want to see price play out. Again, how would we look to enter into this market? We'd simply wait for price to trade up and into this area, price to deliver us with confirmation of entering, which would be a break of structure to the downside, so a fractal break of structure going down to as low as the 1 or 4 hour time frames, and we'd simply be waiting for price to do as follows. So we would have price trading up like so. We'd want to see break structure to the downside like this, confirming that the bullish structure trading us up and into this area has come to an end and the new bearish trend to the downside is ready to take place. So we would want to see some kind of break of structure before we look to get involved in this market. But again, I think this is a brilliant trading opportunity and one that we could really take advantage of should we wait patiently for the right parameters to be met before obviously entering in on this market. So again, that's my analysis for the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Very quick and simple. It's all that's needed, as we are simply following the structural laws in this market, as well as the supply and demand balance. Heading over to the US dollar Swiss franc. Again, you'll see how this correlates. I want to see a continuation in bullishness in this market. I do expect price to pull back to give us the opportunity to buy in. However, I do want to see a continuation in strength in the US dollar. I want to see price pull back down and into this area here of demand, giving us the opportunity to buy in at a better price so we can profit tenfold. Now, if we were to go to the weekly time frames and we were to look at this structure, you can see that this is the last sell area before a heavy buy to the upside. Price always pulls back into these sell areas. Again, a sell area here, price pulled back before trading was higher. We want to see that happen again. We want to see that take place again. So we go back to the daily time frames. I have marked out a hidden order block here on the daily time frames. I want to see price pull back, giving us a deeper correction before that continuation in a bullish way. But again, it tells us that we want to see strength in the US dollar, weakness in the Swiss franc, which correlates with our Great British Pound to the US dollar analysis, as well as our gold spot analysis. So how can we look to take part in this market in the coming week? Well, we could actually look to short the US dollar Swiss franc temporarily before we actually go long, taking advantage of this corrective wave that I feel is going to come into play. Again, all we would need is some kind of break of structure to the downside to confirm that this bullishness has come to an end and that the corrective wave is ready to take place. Once we have confirmation of this reversal, that is when we can look to take part in this market. But I do feel the US dollar Swiss franc is going to be a bearish market this week, and it's something that you guys should consider when looking to place positions in this market. Now, if for any reason there was still strength in demand and demand was actually overpowering the supply in this market, we may see price react from this area here before actually continuing to trade us in a bullish way. However, it is showing great signs of rejection from this area of supply, so it'll be interesting to see how price plays. It could either pull back down and into this area before taking us higher, actually absorbing this area of supply, or it could pull down, pull back up ever so slightly to set a lower high before continuing in its bearish way. So those are the two options with this market this week. It's very simple when it comes to entering in the market. If we want to go long, we could buy in from this area here. We just need to wait for the right confirmation parameters, which come from breaks of structure to the upside fractally. We want to enter short, we simply wait for confirmation parameters of breaks of structure to the downside and a continuation in bearishness. Very simple and straightforward. If you are unsure how to enter in on markets and looking for confirmation entry, I have recently put a video out on entry confirmation and entry execution, so go and check those out on the channel. But we are simply waiting for price to display some kind of confirmation, whether it's a continuation in bullishness, absorbing that area of supply, or breaking down to the downside, putting in this higher time frame corrective wave before the next bull run. Okay, just to finish off on the Euro USD, want to see price pull down into this fair value gap as it has done. I want to see price actually pull in a little bit deeper, hitting this 50% mark before we see a push to the upside here. Again, confirmation entry. Again, entry confirmation is going to come from a break in the last protected high. So as I said before, bearish structure delivers us with lower highs and lower lows. So a break in a protected high would be considered a break of structure to the upside, and would be essentially telling us that there's more demand in the market than there is supply, and we should see a reversal to the upside. So if, for instance, price was to go bullish now, in order for me to go long in this market, I'd want to see a break in this high. Why? Because this high created the lowest low, okay? So a break in this would tell us that there's now more demand in the market than there is supply, and we are breaking highs and protecting lows, right? So I would want to see a break in the last protected high in order to get involved in this market. Now you may be wondering, well, Luke, this actually doesn't correlate with the three markets that you've gone through in today's Sunday Sessions video. You're absolutely correct. It doesn't mean to say that this analysis is wrong. It just means to say that the euro is actually meant to be stronger than the US dollar, technically, in terms of my technical analysis. I want the US dollar to be strong against the Swiss franc, the Great British pound, and the gold market, but I want it to be weak against the euro. So what we could do in terms of confluence and additional confirmation is actually look at the fundamental side of things. Do we have positive news coming out at the moment with the euro? So do your research and your due diligence before you look to take part in these markets, obviously. But for me, I do want to see strength in the euro this year, to be completely honest with you. And I want to see an appreciation in the value of the euro. But that, people, is going to conclude this Sunday Sessions video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you've learned a thing or two about my strategy, then amazing. Leave some feedback in the comments below. And if you do have any questions or queries with regards to this analysis today or my strategy itself, again, leave them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to get back to you all. I am back now in full force. I've been away in Tenerife for the past 2 weeks, but I'm back in full force and I'm ready to smash 2025. I've got some amazing opportunities coming in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for little video updates on those. We're looking at prop challenges, things of that nature. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys aren't involved in our VIP services and you haven't purchased a course and you are looking to learn a working strategy, then go ahead and check out some of the links in the description below. But with all that being said, people, I just want to say a massive thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next Sunday Sessions video.